So my name is Hallie, and I'm an international student from Hong Kong. I'm currently studying a Bachelor of Nutrition Science in my third year.
I'm Mehek, and I'm an international student from India.
I'm Wendy, and I'm from Malaysia. This is my third year here in Melbourne.
I didn't really know how to cook. I grew up eating rice a lot, so I like eating rice in my meals. I used to just have rice and canned chickpeas with a cup of frozen veggies with some spices in a rice cooker and just let it cook, and that would be it.
I remember when I was cooking at home, I just want to eat baked salmon. So I kind of just put the salmon into a parchment paper and just throw it out and put it in the oven and bake it. The other one that I am thinking of is I found it out by accident. It's kind of just one day when I was in my apartment. I was feeling extremely lazy about cooking that day. I was just looking at my pantry to see what I have, and I just look at my rice paper, the very brown, transparent, kind of opaque ones. I was feeling so hot. I was like, okay, maybe I can make myself some cold noodles. So I kind of just cut out my rice paper into strips and put them into water and soak it up. So I kind of just add some of my leftovers and other sauces to mix it up to have a cold noodles.
I would say my go-to meals to cook are Japanese or Korean cuisines because they have sauces and relatively easy recipe compared to Malaysian. You just get a miso paste or a red pepper paste, and then you just boil it, stir it into the soup, and then it just become a really flavorful soup base for you.
I don't know if I'm because I'm an Asian. I'm cooking more Asian food, definitely more than Western food. Asian food are more lenient used most of the time. Back home when you cook, you ask your mom, how do you cook that? I don't know, just a pinch of this, throw in that and that. They really tell you measurement. They would tell you okay, 1 teaspoon of this, 1 cup of that. We don't know, we just kind of use instinct.
I often just dump things into one pot because it's less cleaning. And so my friends got a lot of one pot recipes from me.
I usually plan out my meals on the weekend generally, or just before I'm going to get groceries. I plan out what I want to cook for the next few days, and I shop according to that so that I don't buy unnecessary things and keep in budget as well. I generally keep my pantry stocked up with some canned or frozen foods, which makes making the meals a lot more easier, and I don't have to eat pasta every night when I'm tired or lazy. I can just pop all these ingredients in a pot and I'm done with it. Another thing that I like doing is meal prepping or cooking in bulk. So when I know I am having a few busy days ahead, so I'll cook a big batch of meals, and I'll keep it in my fridge, and I'll eat it, reheat it, and eat it for the next few days.
I personally, when I was doing my meals, I guess most of the time I would just buy versatile ingredients that I can apply to most of the dishes, like broccoli or certain protein, tofu, and basic, carbs and all that, the grains. Personally, I don't think I suit the lifestyle of cooking in a big bulk and eating the same food for the whole week. I know it works for some people, but I feel I personally would get bored of eating the same food the whole week, so I kind of just more spontaneous, kind of depending on my mood.
Choosing wisely, what you're buying actually, or what you're eating. I really like snacking in between meals, or snacking when I'm studying late at night. What you're actually munching on that's very crucial. Snacking on fruits or nuts or yogurt is way better than snacking on chips or chocolate.
If you have never started cooking, things can be intimidating, especially if you see in TV shows, people just put on flames and then I know they flambe flames everywhere. Like whatever, you burn your kitchen into fire, like into ashes and all that. But I feel like if you just started cooking, try not to aim too big. Like start from small, definitely. Internet could be a good place to start with. There are plenty of simple recipes. One of the things that I would look for would be how many steps are in the recipe, how many cooking equipments do you have, because I don't think there's a lot of people who love cooking, washing dishes, so that would be important. And also how many ingredients and all that, especially for students. I feel like a lot of students may be in the budget. They do not want to spend a whole chunk of money in their food. They might have other priorities, or they might have certain financial concerns. So probably look for ingredients that are very versatile, so that you can use them for multiple recipes, that you won't have to keep buying new stuff, so that you end up having a pantry of 100 different stuff, but each of them might be only be used for once. And just keep in mind, practice make progress. Like if you're new to cooking, like everyone wants to do something well, but it's not guaranteed. Even people who've cooked for a long time, I'm sure like when they're trying new recipes, they surely have failed sometime. Just be lenient and keep trying. At the end, you'll kind of make it. Like, it just happens. So just practice. Because of COVID, a lot of us couldn't go back to our home country. It's kind of stuck in Melbourne. And some of us did not really know what to do. And Tammie kind of came up with the idea of having an internship experience for all of us. So Tammie talked to Marin, a PhD student. She kind of discovered a problem or situation that a lot of international students face is when they are coming overseas and living alone. A lot of them may not have the accessibility or do not know how to really cook for themselves. So based on this situation, we are given a lot of freedom and a little bit of budget just to kind of develop some resource for them.
Tammie actually made this internship a very safe environment for us to express ourselves and to discover our potential. This internship, like the people, we all became very close, and it almost became like a family. It really helped to get over that homesickness as well.